Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to TorCraft Cup Online Stage 5, which qualifies for Round 4. I am Master Doc. Joining me today is Slow Wolf. How are you doing today, bud?
I'm good, thanks, Master Doc. How are you?
I am doing pretty good myself. Now, Slow Wolf, you're more of an Awesomenauts persona, but, you know, today we're going to be doing the StarCrafts, the Toronto StarCrafts, no less. And we have quite a treat to start things off here. We've got Believe versus EJK. EJK is a very skilled American Terran player. Believe, of course, currently on the top of Toronto. But it looks like we're going to be getting into our first game straight off the bat on Cactus Valley. Who do we got here in the bottom left?
In the bottom left, we have Believe playing the Protoss. And on the other side of the map, we've got EJK playing his Terran. So things are starting off. We got the probes working. We got the SFEs working already. What are some common openings for these two kinds of players, for these two races?
Alright, well, Believe he's not the kind of player to scout too much. He likes to sit back and go for some Blink Harass, maybe even some Oracles. But on the flip side, for EJK, he likes to... We see a lot of Reapers coming out of him, and a lot of just heavy 1-1-1 harassment, getting the factory, getting the starport, and going from there. But we'll really be able to pinpoint where they're going to be going with the timings of their gases, as that is the largest factor for most of these builds.
Yeah, and especially for the Reapers, you need to have that gas fairly early. But the other thing with the Reapers is that this is a fairly large map to go Reapers in. Like, that's going to require some early scouting, which hasn't happened quite yet. It seems like the Terran player is building some barracks, and we've got Believe building his gateway. So already things starting off. They got their first unit production, and the refinery being built by EJK already. So he's building it early-ish, but here comes the pause. But both of the players are going for gas at relatively the same time. Which is, what does that mean?
Well, right now we only see the one gas from Believe, but it looks like the second is about to get thrown down very soon. So probably going to be trying to go for a more high-tech of a build. I don't know if we'll be seeing a Nexus too quickly, though if he does go for double probe on either gas instead of the normal 3, then he might be able to get the minerals up for a Nexus. And for right now, we'll have to see what they're going to be going for. EJK, he did throw down that refinery a lot earlier than you would normally get for a Reaper. So we'll have to see if he's going to be going just for Reaper or going into a quick factory following this. And it appears that EJK's father is currently downloading something, so the internet not quite in the best position for him.
Well, that's a problem. But, alright, so the refinery here, going into a factory, what could you make from a factory that would be good against TOS right now? Like, obviously you're not going to go straight into, like, into Hellions or anything, but
yeah.
What would you end up doing?
Probably a Widowmine drop would be good, especially, you know, if you can get them in, they don't have the static defense ready at their base, just get in a Widowmine or two, boom, all of the probes are gone. And right now, so far, the timings are looking okay for EJK, but StarCraft, it's a game where things can add up. And
it's usually a lot of little things that add up.
Yeah.
What I've noticed.
It really is, and if, say, the factory or the starport is just a few seconds off, that could lead up to that. But right now, it does look like EJK is good to go. We're going to be getting back into it.
Oh, very good. All right.
There we go.
So resuming where we are, we got the assimilator going. Pylons built. We got a double assimilator coming out of Believe here. So he's going heavy on the gas. And boosting his workers to do so, obviously, boost kind of being a thing. And we've got the initial scout coming out of EJK right now with his SCV. And we're waiting on him again, unfortunately, poor guy. You can do it, EJK. I believe in you. I believe in you and your little guy. But he's
Yes.
going ahead. He's going ahead and scouting. It seems like there's going to be just one refinery coming out of EJK for now, so he's just going to rely heavily on his minerals for
Yeah.
the time being.
Nothing coming out of his barracks quite yet, so that does lead me to... Oh, actually, he's only got the 2 workers on his gas right now. Just got it up to 3, so the Reaper was actually a bit delayed. So it has started up now, but that means it'll give Believe even more time to get up, say, a Stalker or a Mothership Core to deal with those Reapers.
Now, the good news is that EJK knows exactly where Believe is. He got lucky on his first guess out of the 4 corners you could be in this map, so he knows exactly where they are, and the Reapers are conveniently in the best spot for it. He's going to start building his command center on his natural expo, but those Reapers have the shortest distance to go from one corner to the next closest corner. So that's a huge benefit to his strategy, and we'll see what he can do with these Reapers as they start making their way across the map. How do you think that the Protoss player is going to be able to deal with this now that he's built a Nexus? He's going to be a little bit more strapped for cash, and he's going to have a harder time dealing with the harassment that's about to come out, I think.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, the Reaper, it's going to be a bit delayed. The Mothership Core is actually finishing up just as it gets into the main, so that Reaper immediately has to start retreating. As
Yeah,
it's
that's
just not,
unfortunate.
it's not going to be able to get into that mineral line so easily.
So that's really unfortunate. EJK was kind of banking on maybe doing some harassment with that. Now it looks like Believe's Probe going to be scouting around. He's going to try to look for EJK. The Reaper still running around, doing his best to be a nuisance. Just trying to find an angle in which doesn't involve a Mothership Core being a pain in the butt. And he's plunking away at the probes. The Mothership Core coming in, doing a lot of damage. That Reaper's just barely going to get out of there alive by look of things. But yeah, I Believe doing just putting up the Mothership Core just in time, and unfortunately EJK's delayed Reaper really cost him a little bit there. That would have been a very strong opening had that worked out for him.
Yeah. Now, on the table, Believe he's going to be getting a Twilight Council, most likely going to be getting a Blink after that. On the flip side, for our Terran player, EJK, he's throwing down his Starport. He does have the double reactor, so he is actually going to be going for the Hellions. Now, Hellions, you know, they don't do so good versus armored unit or mechanical units, but they still are able to put in some damage, and especially versus very light units like a probe, it's very possible that these Hellions can deal a bunch of damage. And Blink has started up with a robotics facility on the way, and the expansion for our Protoss player is now up and running. I believe he's in a very comfortable position right now.
Yeah, Believe looking like he's doing really, really well. His Expo's doing slightly better than EJK's. EJK's got the Mule, however, to kind of boost his economy up. EJK also building a starport, so he's going into his flyers fairly early. He's going into his medevacs, so Marines and medevacs, kind of your regular average thing. Here come the Hellions. They're going through everything. Mothership and everything be darned. He's just blasting his way in, and all he wants to do is get to the sweet, sweet probes, and it gets blocked out. The pylon's doing an excellent job of blocking that, but he's still going to find an angle. The Hellion now doing some decent damage to these probes, but most of it's shield damage. Will he actually be able to kill off any of this economy before getting killed by the Stalkers? The answer is no. That was a wasted Hellion and a decent defense out of Believe. Very good move using the 2 pylons to block it and then canceling it to get the minerals back. So very well played out of Believe.
Yeah, and up next now, we've got 3 gateways on the way with Blink almost done and an Observer. So, you know, I'm thinking that Believe he's going to be going for that Blink harassment, but right now we've got a medevac loaded almost to the brim with Marines here. A couple of Stalkers in the main base. The Marines are going to be getting dropped in on those probes. A bit of a delayed reaction, but it looks like not all the Marines going to be able to get dropped straight on. And oh, the Observer almost getting caught, and it goes down. That is huge, as now the Blink harassment is going to be ever so much more delayed. These Marines doing quite a bit of damage, actually, and Hellions coming in as well.
Yeah, no, and the Hellions now have an avenue into the base. There aren't the pylons in the way. They didn't get stopped by the Mothership nearly as much. There are 4 of them. There are only 2 of them left now. The majority of Believe's economy in his home base has been absolutely decimated. There is almost nothing left. These Marines might even take down a Stalker. Boom, there goes 1 Stalker. There's still 2 left. But this is a huge, huge amount of money right now that EJK managed to just steal, practically, out of Believe's nose. Just, wow, that was a huge hit to the economy. That's going to be hard to recover from.
29 workers killed in total for EJK. That is ridiculous. Right now, we've got 45 SCBs to 24 probes. plus mules on top of that on a 2-base economy. And you know what? The medevac didn't even die. It lived by just a hair, so that's even more resources in EJK's pocket here. Doubling supply right now. And EJK, you know, he had that leg. I was going to be a bit worried for him. That Reaper didn't do too much, but right now he's done more than make it back up. And believe now he's kind of in a position where he has to deal some damage or else he's going to start falling behind. The Widowmine on Burrows will go down and blinks away, gets to live from those Marauders.
And the majority of the damage that he took was shield damage too, so nothing permanent. They can probably come back in. He's going to probably do his best to harass with those Stalkers, I believe. But what does Believe have to do at this point in order to come back into this game? He is playing from way far behind, and as much as his Stalkers can pick off Marines and everything, they have a very well-defended position with bunkers, missile silos, a huge economy. He can easily expand to his heart's content, and Believe, like, playing from way far behind and trying to overcome this massive obstacle. What do they do? Like, what does a Protoss player do at this point?
Well, right now he's doing a good job. He's trying to get as much vision out onto the map as possible. He does have an observer right outside his main as well, so that'll allow him to see any kind of incoming drops. He's going to be getting up some more and more Stalkers, but I feel like blinking up into the main is probably a better choice right now, and it looks like he's going to be doing just that. He's got an observer positioned right by the ledge. But EJK, he doesn't quite know. He salvaged one of the bunkers, thinking it's safe now, but right now, we'll get blinked right into the main. We'll take down the reactor first off on the starport, and that slows down the medevac production. The bio now is going to be coming up to the top. We'll get the Widowmine. It guts a shot off. That actually takes out 2 Stalkers and deals a ton of shield damage to 3. It's a little tough for him.
And they're coming back in. Coming back in, they're almost going to take out one of the medevacs. The Marauders almost got a kill back on one of the Stalkers. Lives with 2 HP, though. And that's just going to end up being just a reactor for 2 Stalkers, which I'm not sure if that's necessarily a worthwhile trade, considering, you know, that's 250 minerals and some gas for just 1 reactor. But yeah, at this point, it looks like, oh yeah, EJK going out. He's going to start mobilizing, trying to put on the offensive. He knows he's got a bigger force than what Believe has let him see. We do have a couple of Zealots waiting in the back, and now a Colossus. And EJK has no idea that his army is going to be walking into this. But he backs off, gets a couple of heals, and now the fight's really going to start. We'll see whether or not these 2 armies square off appropriately. In comes the Colossus. Tons of damage going out on the majority of these Terran units. Lots of them going down all over the place. Marauders getting killed. Stalkers getting killed. The Colossus finally goes down, though, to the attention of the Marauders. And it ends up being a 1 fight for the most part. By the Terrans, it looks like. A couple Stalkers were warped in, but it's not going to be enough. And honestly, there's a ton more Marauders and Marines waiting to come in. They're going to start pounding away at this Nexus. Then they take out, or at least potentially take out, the Stalkers. They blink away just in time. Medevac's doing a fantastic job, and that's going to secure the game for EJK in the first match in this best of 3.
Yeah, you know, he had the Colossus, but it was just so early on to the game. Extended Thermal Lance was nowhere near done. He could only hit the immediate units for him. He was not able to hit the far side of the base, which is what he needed, as that's where all of the reinforcements were coming in from. And not only that, but again, Stalker count was already damaged and low from his previous attempts at harassment. It kind of fell apart for Believe there. When that Marine drop came in, he wasn't able to deal with it, and then the Hellions came in on top of that.
That 2-prong strike definitely decided the entire tone of the game. EJK did an excellent job, went in, tried with the first group of Hellions. Okay, didn't work out. Neither did the first Reaper, which was a little bit late and was pushed off by the Mothership Core. But the instant that he came in with a drop, the drones, the probes were running all over the place, the Stalkers came in, and he didn't think to block off the probes, and so the 4 Hellions managed to make it through and started tearing them apart, and at that point, it was practically game over. All EJK had to do was outdo Believe's army, and then that was it. Like, just the amount of resources he took away from Believe was huge. But yeah, that's going to take game 1. EJK going to be the winner in that particular matchup. We're going to go to the next game. Yeah. Starting like pretty soon. We're going to take a quick break first, though, yeah?
Nah, I think we should be good. They've got the lobby already loaded up. It's looking to be Vanya Research Station for game number 2. And, you know, sitting 1-0, EJK's favorite, should take his mind off of things just a little bit. As Who knows? Maybe the lag has gone away, and as soon as all of our participants... Oh, it looks like actually we've got a bit of a problem with the lobby. So, you know what? Yeah, Slow Wolf, you had the right idea. We're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back with some more StarCraft action. Game number 2 of Believe versus EJK.